championship on the line and face me one-on-one, Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella didn't just wrestle. They went to war. In a match filled with emotion, grit, and non-stop intensity, both women left everything in the ring. From high-impact counters to a brutal moment on the steel steps that had fans wincing, this battle was far from ordinary. Nikki brought the fight with everything she had, proving she's still a dangerous force in WWE. But somehow, Becky Lynch found a way to survive. Barely. It wasn't clean, and it sure wasn't easy. But the man walked away with the win in a match that no one's going to forget anytime soon. The story? Coming in. Pride, legacy, and unfinished business. This wasn't just any match. It was about legacy. Becky Lynch, the self-proclaimed man, has been a consistent force at the top of the women's division for years. Whether it's headlining WrestleMania or carrying championship gold, Becky's intensity, resilience, and attitude have made her one of the most beloved and dominant superstars in WWE history. On the other side, Nikki Bella, former Divas champion and WWE Hall of Famer, is no stranger to big matches or pressure. Her return to in-ring action brought with it a chip on her shoulder and something to prove. Often underestimated for her reality TV fame, Nikki came into this match determined to remind everyone that she's more than just a name. She's a fighter. A red-hot start, Nikki strikes. First, from the opening bell, Nikki came out like she had something to prove. No hesitation, no feeling-out process. She charged Becky with a barrage of forearm strikes that backed the man into the corner. The crowd was still getting settled when Nikki tried to end it early with the Rack Attack 2.0. But Becky, always ring-aware, slipped through the ropes to create space and catch her breath. But Nikki wasn't backing off. She followed up with a dropkick that sent Becky tumbling to the floor, signaling she was here for a fight, not a wrestling clinic. The crowd roared as Nikki stood tall, fists clenched, shouting down at her opponent. Momentum shifts. Becky takes control. That early aggression didn't last long. Once Becky found an opening, she turned the match in her favor with veteran precision. While Nikki charged toward her at ringside, Becky reversed the momentum, whipping Nikki into the steel steps with a brutal thud that echoed through the arena. Not finished, Becky sent Nikki flying into the announce desk, reminding everyone why she's one of the most dangerous wrestlers in high-pressure situations. Back in the ring, Becky slowed the pace and went to work. Leg drops off the ropes, stiff kicks to the midsection, and a well-timed exploder suplex that nearly ended it. It was clear Becky wanted to pick Nikki apart piece by piece. The fight heats up. Nikki refuses to stay down, but Nikki Bella isn't the type to roll over. Digging deep, she turned the tide with a flurry of offense, sharp elbows, fast-paced drop kicks, and a baseball slide that knocked Becky into the announce desk again. The impact rattled both the desk and the fans in the front row. She threw Becky into the barricade, then into the turnbuckles, showcasing a rare ruthlessness from the Bella twin. Gone was the glamour and smiles. This was a war, and Nikki was fighting like she never left. Back and forth drama, close calls, and huge moves. From that point on, the match became a chess match of high-impact counters and near falls. Nikki attempted the Rack Attack again, only for Becky to wriggle free and answer with a massive superplex off the top rope. The crowd erupted as both women lay flat on the canvas, the referee starting his count. Somehow, both found the strength to rise and keep swinging. Becky went for her signature disarm her, but Nikki showed her evolution as a competitor, blocking the move and transitioning into the fearless lock, her own variation of a submission hold. The crowd gasped as Becky fought to escape, not one to stay grounded for long, Becky reversed into a classic armbar, but Nikki rolled through into a tight pin for yet another near fall. Outside, mayhem. Chaos around the steel steps. Just when you thought the action couldn't get more intense, things spilled to the outside again. Becky set up for the manhandle slam on the steel steps, hoping to end it with a devastating statement. But Nikki, out of nowhere, reversed it and planted Becky with a Bella Buster right on the steel. The crowd gasped as Becky crumpled, clutching her back. It looked like the match could end in a countout, but Nikki threw her opponent back into the ring, sensing the moment was hers. A controversial ending. Becky escapes. With the win back inside, Nikki stayed on the attack. She hit a run-up knee strike, even teased Becky's own disarm her submission, turning Becky's move against her in a brutal display of disrespect. It almost worked. Becky barely clawed her way to the ropes, just avoiding disaster. In the final moments, Nikki went for a big power move, but Becky used her ring IQ to reverse into a backslide, securing the 3 count in a flash. The crowd was stunned. Some cheered, some booed, all were shocked. Just like that, Becky Lynch escaped by the skin of her teeth. Aftermath. What's next for both women? Though Becky walked away with the win, this wasn't a dominant performance. Nikki Bella pushed her to the absolute edge, both physically and mentally. The former champion reminded the world that she's still a force to be reckoned with. The real question now is, what's next? Will Becky move on to another high-profile feud? Or has Nikki done enough to earn a rematch, perhaps with added stakes or a stipulation to settle the score once and for all? With the women's division heating up and stars like IYO Sky, Asuka, and Stephanie Verer circling the title picture, things are only going to get more competitive from here. Stay informed. Stay updated. Hit that subscribe button.